Yes, a beautiful evening to you, my truth family, and welcome to the Tuesday edition. Welcome to another episode of Which Way Nigeria. Yes, that's the Tuesday edition of the Unspoken Truth. It's another Tuesday night, and we have to do the talk. You know, when it's Tuesday, we talk serious business. It is one of those nights we think and ask questions about where we are and where we are headed as a nation. Coming to you live from the studios of Voice of the People 90.3 FM. I'm your host, your radio nighttime partner, and you know, my name is Diola. Well, you are not new to this statement. I say this every time that this is our space where we look at the issues affecting us, not just as individuals now, but as a nation. And together, we ask that very hard question: which way Nigeria? We keep asking because we want to take Nigeria from where it is now to a more comfortable, a better place, a more convenient country where, everyone is happy. And I say this always on the show that it goes beyond politics, it goes beyond government. This is about you. Yes, you on the outside. It is about me, Diola, in the studios. It is about our families in general. It is about our future, about Nigeria. And that is why your voice matters so much on this conversation. Your voice matters so much here. Wherever you're sitting, wherever you are right now, rather, you're sitting in traffic, at home, listening from your living room, or currently still at work. You're tuned in from your workplace. Tonight, we are going to talk about something that affects each. Serious business. It affects each and every one of us. Sometimes we might many times we act like it is someone else's problem, but I'm talking about something that you and I cannot deny having, a part in it. No. And I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm talking about our environment. Yes, you heard me. I'm talking about our environment, the air, the land, the water, what we all share. I'm talking about air, land, water, what we all share, what we all depend on, and what we are letting go to waste. I'm talking about the way we treat our streets, the way we treat our gutters, our surroundings, because the truth is our environment didn't destroy itself. We did what we are seeing on the outside today. Let me even ask you. Let's put it this way. Ask yourself right now. When last did you walk through your street and see how much dirt is blocking the gutters? While coming to the studios tonight, on my way to the studios, I still saw it. The dirt throwing garbages in the gutter. When rain falls, the water doesn't flow. It is fighting to even find space. Now, have you even noticed the smell after rainfall? The truth is, our environment is crying. Yes, it needs help. And we are the ones killing it slowly. And then we start shouting, it is the government. Government, do something. Government, you need to do something. But my truth family, yes, if we are being honest, those dirt, who threw the dirt there? So tonight we are going to talk about it, how we are destroying our own environment. Remember, yes, it's going to be an interactive conversation because I'll hear from you, just like I'm saying my own part now. The time is coming where he also tell Diola, this is what it is exactly. See, this is the cause and this is the solution I feel is going to clear this issue in our society for Nigeria to be a better place. So as we go along, remember that you're going to join me. You're going to be a part of the show. And the numbers to call for those that want to make a phone call are 0700 903 903 903, or you can call 08036929933. I'll take that again, 0700 903 903 903, or you can call 08036929933. If you want to send me your thoughts, the WhatsApp portal is open. The number is 0817 175 6338. Remember that you can also join me live on YouTube right now at Voice of the People 90.3 FM. But let's get into it. See, listen, I said Diola came for serious business tonight. Every time we talk about floods or dirty surroundings, people quickly shout, the government has failed us again. The government has done this. Yes, I'm not going to dispute that. The government has its part. The government has its part to play, and we will talk about it. But before we point that finger that it is the government, let's remember that the 4 other fingers are pointing back at us. When you point one finger to the government, the 4 fingers left are pointing back at you. So if we are to face this, some people, I'm telling you that some wait till night when nobody is watching to throw bags of dirt straight into the drainage. Some sweep their compound and push all the dirt together into the gutter. The gutter that is supposed to serve as a passage for water flow. As if the gutter is their personal dustbin. And then some even throw the waste from car windows like it is nothing, littering the environment. Now tell me, how will the gutter flow when rain comes? It's been raining a couple of weeks. Even if we have the best government in the world, how can we win this fight if citizens are the ones destroying the environment? If we're being real, actually, Nigeria is sitting on an environmental time bomb. Yes, that's the word. If you look at reports shown, statistics, I'm talking about facts. Report shows that about 87% of Nigerians, that is approximately 179 million people. 179 million people live in dirty, unclean environment, places with poor waste management, high pollution, bad sanitation. We generate close to 32 million tons of waste every single year. And if you look at the 32 million tons of waste collected every year, it is only about 20% that is properly collected. And that is why 179 million Nigerians have found themselves in an unclean environment, dirty environment, places with poor waste management, bad sanitation. Now, the rest of the waste, it ends up in our gutters, in our rivers, on our streets, and eventually in our bodies. I will explain how eventually it gets to our bodies. So when I say this affects you, I mean it. I know what I'm saying. It affects me. Yes, it is affecting me. Your neighborhood, your air, your child's health, your job, your future. It affects every single thing. Now, come to think of this. Ask yourself right now, when last did you see a drainage in your area actually flowing freely after a heavy rain? In fact, you see, when it wanted to pour heavily today, when it was about to rain, I think in the early hours of the day, say noontime, I was praying. Yes, I went to my corner and I had to do my prayers before we came for the evening sport program, because I know eventually if it poured like heavily, I think it just did some little showering. If it poured heavily, it was going to be a different, totally different story from what I'm seeing right now. So if you're looking at it, ask yourself, when last did you see a drainage in your area actually flowing freely after a heavy rain? Do you even remember what clean air smells like? And when you're thinking about this, who do you blame? The government or ourselves? Because I did my calculations and I said to myself, we are all part of this mess. You see that man who throws sachet water out of the moving bus, the woman who sweeps dirt into the gutter. You're selling something by the roadside, and the next drop points for you, for your garbages, is the gutter. Even the government that looks away until flood takes over the city, we are all a part. Yes, every one of us. We are all a part of this mess. And I've come to ask, which way? Which way? Yes, we have LOMA. That's the Lagos Waste Management Authority. But if we're also being truthful, LOMA only works effectively in a few parts of Lagos. You can testify yourself. I know Diola is not just doing the talking in the studio. You know what I'm saying. Outside certain areas, waste trucks rarely come. Sometimes you see mountains of refuse on the roadside for weeks. For weeks. If you're driving along the axis of Oshodi to say Maitu, along Ilasa, Isolo, you will see Seleges, you will see the waste by the roadside. You know what I'm talking about. You see these things every day when you go out. You know what I'm talking about. But still, when you think about it, you begin to see, we have LOMA now, we have LOMA, but those things are still there. But if we're also talking about that, the truth is still the government must do their part, quite right, but we must also do ours. If LOMA isn't coming to your street, does that mean you should pour your waste into the drainage, into the gutter? Should that be the solution? Because that's why I brought it to us. We need to talk about it so we'll know, is that supposed to be the next line of action? If there is no refuse dump, does that give you the permission to throw your dirt on the road, by the roadside? Let's think about it. We complain that government doesn't maintain our communities, yet we are the ones destroying them daily. So now I'm thinking, why do we let it happen? Why is this happening? Why is the government getting worse instead of better? Because after I was done with my own thinking, I was able to come up with 3 big reasons. If you do your research, you agree with me that you see these 3 reasons are the basic cause of where we are right now. Neglect, the first. Short-term thinking, the second. And division and blaming, the third. I would explain what I'm saying. When I say neglect, It's because we act like the bad water, the bad air, blocked drainages are just normal in Nigeria. But is it supposed to be? They are not. They are not. They are failure to the government and ourselves. You feel like it is not my business. So whatever wants to be by the roadside should be by the roadside. Nobody is going to arrest me if I throw my dirt from my house inside the gutter. And when I talk about short-term thinking, we clear forest for quick profit. We allow waste to pile because we'll sort it later now. Let's just stay there. We'll sort it. We'll find a response. We'll find a solution. We live in the right now mood. That's the mood. And we ignore the tomorrow. And that is how we found ourselves in this situation where we are today. If we're not even talking about division and blaming, I'm saying we don't act together. One person waits for the government blames the people, regions blame each other. Meanwhile, the whole environment keeps getting worse. Now, you imagine a family home where the roof is leaking. Pests have moved inside that home. The water is dirty, but everyone keeps ignoring it or saying daddy will fix it now, mommy will fix it, don't call me, someone else will fix it. That is our country's current environment situation. And you don't wait for someone else when it is your roof. So we keep shifting the blame. Government is saying the citizens are not doing what they are supposed to do. Citizens are as well saying the government are not doing what they are. What exactly is going on? What is going on? Now let's talk about the implication, because I won't talk about the cause without talking about the implication. That is why it is an issue. That is why I felt we should talk about it, because it is an issue. It has negative, significant, a very terrible effect that we don't want to see. So when we talk about environmental neglect, it isn't just about the dirty streets. It is about lives. It is about livelihood. When you look again at statistics, flooding has displaced over 1.4 million Nigerians in the past 2 years alone. 1.4 million Nigerians. When I say displaced, I'm saying those people don't have a home anymore because of flood. 1.4 million Nigerians homeless because of what? Flood in the last 2 years alone. When you look at pollution, because we're talking about environment, right? When you look at pollution, it is killing silently. Air pollution alone causes around 114. That should be the figure. 114 premature deaths every year in Nigeria, according to the World Health Organization, WHO. And when you talk about poor sanitation, it costs over 450 billion yearly. And that is about 1.3% of our GDP. So when you look at these things, you're not saying it is not an issue. It is an issue. A very big one that needs to be talked about. In fact, let me ask you right now. When your child coughs at night, coughs every night, have you ever thought it might be the air they are breathing? When your street floods. Do you even see that this is a sign of our carelessness? Sadly, if we keep losing billions to environmental decay, what we cost ourselves, how do we expect our economy to rise? How do we expect a better Nigeria we hope for? In fact, let's travel a bit. We'll do a little traveling on the show. When you go to the northern part of the country, in the north, this certification is swallowing farmlands, killing farmlands. Trees are gone, the soil is dry, families are migrating because their land has turned to dust. How can they even go into farming? Environmental neglect. Come to the southeast, the eastern part. When you talk about gully erosion, it is destroying communities. Look at Anambra, Imo State, Abia State. An entire home swallowed overnight because of what? Erosion. And then you come to the southwest, especially in Lagos, Ibadan, or your state, Ogun rather. Ibadan is the capital of Oyo. We are literally sinking under our own waste. Did you even know that 75% of floods in Lagos are caused by blocked drainage filled with garbage we threw there ourselves? You and I, we threw the garbage inside the drainage. We threw it there ourselves. And that has caused 75% of floods. It has made drainage blocked. So I've come to ask again, if your street turns into a swimming pool after 30 minutes of heavy downpour, should we blame the government or should we blame ourselves? And what eventually happens if we don't act? What eventually happens? Let me be blunt. You see, if we keep this going, Nigeria is going to lose more than just pretty nature. Yes, we are a blessed country. We will lose more than just that pretty nature. We'll see more people sick, health systems strained. We'll see families spending income not on growth but on hospital bills. We'll see our children less competitive because environment affects everything, every single thing. Where you live, the air you breathe, the soil you farm. We'll see external forces take advantage. While because our resources will be sold off, our lands will be degraded, and we'll be told, you needed our help, that's why we did what we did. You don't. By then you would have a choice. We'll be left with no option, when it could have been our solution. And worst, we'll become a country of regret, and we'll start asking ourselves, we'll tell ourselves, what if we had fixed it? What if we had acted like we still had the chance? This is actually not a scare talk. This is reality. We say the truth here. We say it as it is. So it starts with all of us. Let me tell you something hard. If we keep going, ignoring our environment, we keep going this way, ignoring our environment, nature is going to fight back. In fact, it already is. We are seeing it already in the floods, the diseases, the rising heat, bad harvest. We can see it already. It is because of what we've done to our environment. We've ignored it. We are seeing it in how expensive food has become because farmers can't plant in ruined soil. We see it clearly in the way diseases like malaria and cholera still spread. All because we struggle to keep our environment clean. So I'm asking again, do we have to wait until our children fall sick before we realize that gutter outside is a breeding ground for disease? Must we keep losing lives to floods every raining season before we finally take action? How many more warnings will it take for us to understand that nature never overlooks neglect? Because we've been neglecting our environment. And then I said to myself, why not bring this on the show? Why not allow us to talk about it? In fact, the good news is it is not too late, right? It is not too late. We can change this story. We just need to stop pointing fingers and do the needful literally. Having community cleanups. Imagine if every street in every state can come together, clean the surroundings. Just picture it. Not waiting for Loma or the government to do it all. In fact, we already have the Thursday General Environmental Day here in Lagos. But how many people are actually taking it seriously? For many, that is just another excuse to stay indoors. Another excuse to just sleep. Another excuse to catch up with your friends. Another excuse to just do something not really important, instead of getting the work done. Now imagine if that same Thursday spirit turned real. Imagine everybody is seeing it as a duty, not a chore. Cleaning the street, allowing the gutters to flow freely. The water in the gutter to flow freely. That is not a dream. That is what happens when a community takes responsibility. In fact, there should be enforcement of law, not even the new ones, the ones that are already in existence. People must be fined for illegal dumping. In fact, industries must be punished for polluting the air when polluting our rivers. There should be recycling. There should be awareness, just like we are doing right now on the show. Education, we should teach our children early. Let them grow up seeing a clean environment as a normal right, not even as a privilege. And we must stop that very habit of blaming someone else. What we must stop is stop thinking that is not my problem, because it is your problem. It is my problem. It is our problem. Everyone does it shouldn't be what we should accept generally. You saw someone throw dirt in the gutter does not mean you should also do that. In fact, you should correct that person not to do that again. We should stop accepting bad norms, because this is your Nigeria. It is my Nigeria. It is our Nigeria. But let me come to you. If you're being sincere, what exactly is the cause of this issue right now? When we talk about our environment, the way it is, the current situation, what is the cause? What can we do to make this better? How can we move on from here? What is the solution? When last did you actually see a drainage flow in freely after a rain? Do you even know what clean air smells like? What exactly can you tell the Truth family that this is the right way to go. When it comes to our environment, this is the only solution. Are we blaming the government? Is the government the reason for what exactly is going on in our environment, or are we the cause ourselves? My name is Diola, your radio nighttime partner. Remember, this is the Unspoken Truth Tuesday edition with Way Nigeria. To be a part of the conversation, you can reach us at 0700 903 903 903 or call 08036929933. You can also send me your messages to the studio WhatsApp line 0817 175 6338, or join us right now on YouTube at Voice of the People 90.3 FM. And right after this music break, I'll come to you, my truth family, to say your truth on this issue affecting us in this society, in our country. Just as Kobams Asuko and Bess said, we should do the right thing. Even to the matters of our environment, we need to do what is right. That is an evergreen song by Kobams Asuko featuring Bess. Do the right thing. Don't go nowhere. I'll be back. 10 from the studios of Voice of the People 90.3 FM. It's still the unspoken truth, and you're listening to our Tuesday edition, Which Way Nigeria, right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Diola, your radio nighttime partner. I've said so much about our environment, what the current situation of our environment is, what the cause is, or what the costs are, and the implications it has on our health, on Nigeria itself. But it is that time to come to you. I've been doing the talking, just like I said at the start of the show, that it's going to be an interactive session. I'm going to hear from you what exactly is the cause of where we are right now, looking at the situation of our environment. So I'm going to come to you, VOP Truth family, because this conversation is not complete without your voice. I want to hear from you. What exactly is causing this issue? Have you actually seen someone? Yes, okay, you can point fingers that we are the cause of our problems, or you want to say it is the government, they've not done enough. What exactly is the cause, and what needs to be done? Because we can't keep crying we want a better Nigeria, and then even our environment is not healthy for us to live in. You can call in on 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903, or you call 08036929933. You can also call us on WhatsApp or send us a message on WhatsApp 0817 175 6338, or join me right now on YouTube at Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Please, when you join the conversation, remember to tell us your name and where you're calling from. Okay, before we go to the cause, let me quickly read this. Says Diola, my friend, you see, this issue with unclean environment in Nigeria is a matter of mindset. We need special orientation backed up with action in monitoring and evaluation every week. Just like Kai, the KAI era. Kudos to Colonel Tunde Ediagbon. R.I.P. Rest in peace. There was a time when you don't just throw trash anyhow in Nigeria. We need to return back to those days. So are you saying that era where it was very tight, like the military regime, where you can't even throw a dirt on the road, on the floor? You can't do that. Is the military regime going to be the solution to what we are talking about, to this issue? But you didn't leave us with a name, but that's all right. Thank you so much for your contribution. Okay, we can quickly take this. Okay, Amaka from Festac Town says, good evening, D. Imagine everyone took Thursday cleanup seriously. No smell, no blocked drainage, just fresh air. Life would have been so much better. And that's my point, because when you look at it, even the Thursday environmental sanitation day, it doesn't seem like it. Many people, just like I said, they use that opportunity, take it as a day off. You just still sleeping at home, or you're just doing something else from the sanitation, of which that very time frame that day was created for. get on the phone lines. This one is coming from, okay, this one is coming from Benga saying, this message, Diola E enter. Environmental care is everybody's business. It's supposed to be everyone's business. Please let's do better. Thank you so much, Benga, for your contribution tonight. Benga is also admonishing, yes, pleading with everyone that when we talk about environmental care, it is not just somebody else's problem. It is not just my neighbor's problem. It is supposed to be our problem. It is supposed to be everybody's business. We should go about it. We should go about it. Thank you so much, Winga. Well, we need to move quickly. This one says, well done. I love how you spoke from the art, Diola. May God bless us and keep Nigeria clean again. Aisha from Ikorodo, I see that very one. Thank you so much. Okay. Ifeanyi from Aja says, this program sweets me well. Yes, I see that. Yes. More of this, beg. We need to change our attitude before Lagos turns unlivable. In fact, it's not just Lagos. If you ask me, before you know it, we don't want to see that happen in our country. If I'm from Aja, I see that, everyone. Thank you so much. Please, we need to change our attitude before we see something we don't want to see in our country. You know, I was saying it earlier. I said it before the break. I was saying that it is not a scare talk. This is reality. If we keep going this way, we eventually see something we don't want to see in our country. We are sorry for the break. Actually, reports got to us. Report got to me in the studios right here that VOP has been off for quite a while, and I didn't know. We are really sorry for the transmission, the break in transmission, the technical glitches, but this is me apologizing on behalf of the station. We are deeply sorry about what happened during the show tonight. I was talking, and some people were like, we cannot hear what you're saying, Diola. VOP has been off. I really do apologize, but the time is far gone, but I just have to say, different axes. The messages came different axes in Lagos, saying that we cannot hear VOP. VOP is not on air. VOP is not playing anything. But we are sorry. Just like I said, I apologize deeply on behalf of the station for the technical glitches we had during this show tonight. I know it was supposed to be, in fact, I myself, I'm so sorry. I know it was supposed to be an interactive one. I already saw the calls coming in. Yes, you want to be a part of the show. You want to tell me what is going on with the environment situation in the country. You want to tell me, Diola, you want to tell the truth, family, the solutions to what exactly is causing the solutions to the issue we are talking about on the show tonight. But I regret everything that happened tonight on the show. I'm really sorry, but I think we will have to call it a night today right now. But we'll bring this conversation, I'll bring this conversation to you again, and then we are going to we'll talk about it. Well, before I leave you tonight, remember tomorrow is another episode, another Wednesday edition of the Unspoken Truth. That one, you don't want to miss it at all for anything. Usually, you know what we do when it is Wednesdays. We talk about everything revolving our relationship, our marriages, everything love, the lovey-dovey, everything. We talk about it on the show. And the second segment is where I call your partner, where you get to test the situation of your relationship. Yes, you test your boyfriend, you test your girlfriend. You want to know, okay, fine, you've promised that person forever. You want to see for real what exactly that where your relationship stands. Of course, it is just for fun. So you come on the show tomorrow, you send me a message containing your name, your partner's name, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your fiance, anyone you promise to do forever with. Yes, you send me their name, their contact, and that beautiful romantic message you want me to read to them. So when I call them tomorrow live on radio, I read to them those messages, and the twist now is they will have to guess if it is you that has sent me to call them. They have to guess correctly who the sender of the message is. On the show tomorrow, I'll just be your love messenger, and then we talk something serious about relationship, about marriage. Remember that video, the recording rather, I was supposed to play last Wednesday? I should bring it tomorrow on the show. Yes, we'll do something related to that. And so tomorrow, you don't want to miss the show. 9:30 p.m. is the time here at Voice of the People 90.3 FM. And of course, don't forget to follow us across all socials: Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, YouTube at Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Diola, your radio nighttime partner. Once again, before I leave, we are really sorry about the technical glitches during the course of the show tonight. But remember, it's going to be another time next Tuesday where we talk about serious business. But until then, stay safe, stay well, and stay blessed. Good night, my truth family.